Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie and I'm the artist and owner behind NMC Design Studio, which is a small art business based out of Seattle, Washington. So a few weeks ago I had a shop update, which I took y'all along on all of the behind the scenes things about what it was like preparing the shop update and getting everything ready. And now we're gonna do a little retrospective on what went well, what didn't go well, how many sales, what the numbers were, etc., etc. So to start off with, I'll kind of talk about what I was expecting from the shop update. So I wasn't expecting that much, honestly. My previous online shop updates just historically have not gone very well with, if I'm lucky, maybe like one sale, which is not that much. So I really wasn't expecting all that much from this shop update, even though I did try and be a little bit more intentional about my advertising and like promotion leading up to the actual shop update. Day it went live, all of that jazz. So I think in my brain, I was hoping for like, we'll say 5 sales. I honestly didn't put a number on it. I think maybe I was hoping for like 5 sales-ish in like a week or 2 after the shop update. But I also think that I kind of was thinking I would be lucky if I got 1 or 2, just because expectations very low. So what actually ended up happening is we got 4 sales in the 2 weeks post shop update, which is very good, honestly. Again, my shop updates generally don't do well, and my online shop also just generally doesn't get that much traction. Traffic is the right word. Just generally doesn't get that much traffic, and most of my business income comes from doing in-person markets where I'm vending at an event and people come up and purchase things from me. So with those 4 sales, the total amount was $111 and the total profit was $57. So obviously that's lower profit numbers. That's just because of the types of items that folks purchased. Specifically, my strawberry stationery kit, which is not a new item, but we'll get into that in a second, has really, really low profit numbers. Like the margins are so tiny. But speaking of types of products and which products were actually purchased, funnily enough, I only had 1 new item purchased, and it was the Animal Crossing's trinket sticker sheet, which I think is very cute. I didn't think it would be the one that was going to be purchased though. I think if I had to put my money on an item that I thought was going to be purchased from the new shop update, it was either going to be the Crow Carabiner or the Peak sticker sheet. And specifically the Peak sticker sheet because I was talking to my tattoo artist who did a piece for me maybe a month and a half ago at this point. I was showing them some of my art and they saw the Peak sticker sheet and was like, "Do you have any of them with you? I want that." So I told them about the shop update and they were like, "I'll be purchasing." So they haven't purchased yet because they are traveling right now, but we shall see if they purchase in the future. It kind of feels like when you're at an event, like at a market, and someone comes by, looks at things, goes like, "This is really lovely. I will be back later to purchase." And then it's like 60-40 on odds on if they're going to actually come back and purchase. 60 that they don't and 40 that they do. Depending on the event, I think that percentage varies to like 90-10. Never gets below 50-50 though, in favor of them actually coming back. But I think that's why I thought that the Peak sticker sheet might be up there in purchase. And the Crow Carabiner, I think I just thought because it's such a cool product. I don't know, I just really love it. And I love the idea behind it of just like a little crow friend to carry around all your trinkets, because crows like shiny things and so do we. So that surprised me. With that, those sales numbers also got bumped up because I told my coworkers at my full-time job that, "Hey, I had a shop update recently. Would love if you checked it out." And then 2 of them bought things, which I love. But that was very funny. And actually, one of those people was the one who bought the Animal Crossing sticker sheet. But that's where we're kind of sitting with money, purchase order things. I don't remember if I've talked about this in a video before, but I have been for the year 2025, doing like a kind of goal bingo. I'm gonna do it again for 2026 because I think it's fun. But one of my goals is to have 30 orders by the end of the year. Again, low numbers because my online store doesn't get traffic or orders. So we're shooting low here. So goal is 30 orders. Right now we are at 20 orders, which means that I'm thinking that we aren't going to make that end of year goal, because that means that we need to get 10 orders in the month of November and December, which is 2 months, and really just means like we need to get 10 orders in the month of November because not many people are going to be purchasing things in December, or not as many people. And obviously November is a big time for like holiday buying and things like that, gift giving. But just like historically, I've actually had more sales in like March to June-ish time period. I don't know why. So I'm not confident that we're gonna get 10 sales to meet that goal. Hopefully I will be able to boost those sales via advertising for Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales, because that is like the one time in a year that I pretty regularly do run a sale on my things. And hopefully that will help boost traffic and increase orders. Again, I don't know if it'll increase it to 10 orders, but if we get 25 sales this year, I think I'll be happy. We won't have met the goal, but I will still be happy about it. Additional thing that might help boost sales is I recently got accepted to a new website thing, experiment product thing. It's called Marmalade Handmade. It is basically an Etsy alternative that kind of removes all of the drop shipping and AI and all that jazz, which is lovely. I love it. So when you're going through there and looking through all of the products and different people that are on there, you kind of know that it is all like artist created artwork, no AI, and that it isn't like just drop shipped things, like no drop ship crochet or anything like that, because they actually go through a fairly rigorous vetting process. I think I had to send in a couple different videos on process things, kind of showing that I made my like digital artwork files and like did the printmaking things, all that jazz, and kind of showing like some of the creative thought process behind my artwork. So it's not just like, oh, I came up with something in AI and then I, made a file. No, like actually showing kind of the process behind everything. So it's a really good alternative, especially for your holiday shopping. And they just have so many good artists on there. I've been like slowly browsing as I've been adding my products in, and have gone and followed a couple people on social media that I'm like, yes, I want to see more of your things. But all of that to say, this is a new way to like have people come to my website and be able to purchase online from me. So I am also hopeful that that will help increase sales. And the last thing on events, new things, new products, is I'm kind of participating into zine fair things. So there's Biggest Little Zine Fair in Long Beach, California, that they have a table with a bunch of zines from different artists. And I submitted, and one of my zines got in, the Alphabet Soup zine, which is new from this previous shop update. So there will be 5 copies of that zine available in California at that event, which is very fun and exciting. And then the other thing is I will be participating in Common Area Maintenance's little book mobile at Short Run Comics in Seattle, and that'll have a couple of my zines in it as well, which is very fun. And the final thing that I want to talk about regarding the shop update debrief, we've kind of gotten a little bit sidetracked, but I wanted to kind of give like a by the numbers amount of views that I got on some different social media platforms, just because I feel like that's interesting to hear. And if you're an artist or a small business owner, it might be like extra interesting to hear about like number of views and how it changes across platforms, because I find that really interesting. It's always really interesting to me to see how different videos or posts will do on different platforms. I say videos because videos are the things that I post to the most different platforms. It's always just interesting to see like something performs really well on Instagram but like absolutely flops on TikTok, or performs really well on YouTube but does abysmal on Instagram, and just like, why? Who knows? Algorithm. So I'm specifically going to tell you the view counts for the 2 weeks leading up to the shop update, because I feel like that might be the most relevant time period. Maybe I should have done a week before and a week after, but I didn't do that. That's not what I have written on my little paper. So we are going to do the 2 weeks leading up to the shop update for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Instagram, it had the most number of views, but only by like 1,000. And it was 6,481 views on Instagram in the 2 weeks leading up. And that included both video posts, so reels on Instagram, as well as just photo posts. And I didn't count interactions like likes or comments for my numbers at all, just the straight, like it tells you how many people have viewed the content. That's what I was adding up. YouTube then had the next most amount of views at 5,114. I counted both the YouTube shorts and my long form content like you're viewing right now. And that was a little bit surprising. So it made sense to me that Instagram had the most views because one, I have the most followers on Instagram, and two, it has both of those different like post type. I'm just posting more on Instagram because I'm posting both photos as well as video content. Whereas on YouTube, yeah, I'm posting more on YouTube than I am on TikTok because I'm posting my long form content, but it's only once a week that I'm like doing that extra post. And my like long form videos don't tend to get like a ton of views. Right now, I think we're averaging about 15-ish views per video, kind of fluctuating between like 10 to 30 for like a normal video. And then we have some outliers, like the art studio video did really well at like 250-ish views, 200 views, something along those lines. And then TikTok did the worst of these three platforms. And on TikTok, I had 2,206 views. And this didn't surprise me at all. My TikTok videos tend to not do very well. I think I've said it before, just like in passing to some other artists, and I've never actually like sat down to average things out like by the actual numbers, but going off vibes and generally what I remember, TikTok, I tend to average around 100 views per video. Instagram, I tend to average around like 300 to 500 views per video. And on YouTube, it has been fluctuating a lot more recently, but I would say generally on YouTube, I would average between like 500 to 1,000. And that's a little bit misleading because I think on YouTube Shorts, I either get 1,000 plus views or I get like 10 views. I couldn't tell you why that is. I really don't understand it, but like it just must be something with like what they decide to push via the algorithm. I don't know, because some videos I get like 7 and I'm like, did you just not show this to anyone? You didn't even try to show this to anyone. How do you know if people like it or not? So anyways, not surprising to me that TikTok had the worst number of views, because that's just kind of expected. I think actually currently I have around the same number of followers on TikTok that I do subscribers on YouTube, but I think that matters a lot less. So subscriber count on YouTube matters a lot less than followers on TikTok in terms of who sees your content. I could be totally wrong on that. Like subscriber count definitely matters for like long form content, I think, because you'll get the video in your like subscription feed. I know at least for me as a YouTube viewer, I use the subscription feed to find the videos that I want to watch. But with the short form content, short form video content, I think it matters a lot more on what the algorithm is willing to push to people and what people will actually stay to look at. And then last, by the number advertisement thing, which is not a social media platform, but my email newsletter, which I have more than 100 newsletter subscribers now, which like one of my goals, talking about yearly goals again, one of my 2025 goals was to have, I think, 30 newsletter subscribers. Now I have over 100, which is still just wild to me that like y'all just want to like listen to me talk at you and also read my ramblings in an email newsletter. Wild, but I appreciate it. And for my email newsletter, I sent out an email specifically about the shop update with a couple of other things, but mostly about the shop update. And that had a 48% open rate on the newsletter itself and had a 3% click rate. So that means that 3% of people who opened it, which 48% of people who are subscribed opened it, which is worse than some of my other previous ones. I think I was averaging around a 60% open rate previously, so that's dropped a little bit. Hopefully that kind of rebounds a little bit. We'll see with like mention of sale and see if that gets people to open in November. And because I do my newsletter through my like website provider, I'm able to see that none of those clicks actually resulted in any sales. So I don't know if I'd call that a failure if the end goal is to get people to purchase things. That is a failure of the newsletter, of this month's newsletter. But I also feel like that's only like part of the goal of having the newsletter. The other part of the goal is like building community and like marketing wise, just like brand awareness, like keeping my brand in people's minds and email inboxes. That is basically it for shop update retrospective. Went both worse than I wanted and better than I expected, I think is kind of where we land on that. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I try to put out videos every Monday and usually succeed about my artwork and what it's like running a small art business. I also just want to say thank you to my Ko-fi subscribers. If you are interested in supporting me further, you can subscribe to me on Ko-fi for $1 or $3 a month, and you'll get various rewards like your name in this video, monthly behind-the-scenes sketchbooks, and monthly desktop and mobile backgrounds. Thank you again for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!